Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel Talks with A. I remain yours truly, Mrs. Daughter Otu, coming your way again with yet another interesting and exciting episode on this channel. Thank you so very much for always being here. God bless you and God honor you. And I pray to God, constantly on your behalf, that God will continually cause his face to shine upon you, do you good, and make your life worth living. Okay, it will be okay. Yes, it will be all right. That's all I have to tell you. It will be all right. The Bible says, say unto the righteous, it shall be well with him, and he shall eat the fruit of his labor. So I say to you, it is well with you. Wherever you are watching me from, it is well with you. I've always said it, and I will continue to say it. Things can only get better with you and not worse. So congratulations. See you on top. God bless you. So welcome back. In today's episode, I want us to discuss a topic that you are waiting to hear it. Yes, it's passionate to my heart. It's passionate to my heart because these are some of the things I think about in my quiet time. And I look around me and I see. And I really truly wish and hope that people can pay attention to these things because they matter, to our lives, to our fulfillment, even in our journey of life and in our relationships. And the topic I want us to discuss on this episode is simply unlock the benefits of investing in your spouse. There are so many benefits that are accruable to us when we deliberately invest in our spouses. When I'm talking about spouses, of course, husband and wife. I wanted to talk about relationships, but I want to narrow it down to spouses, your husband, your wife. Deliberately making investments into those relationships. Because when you start to invest in your relationship, it will unlock for you a world of sweet experiences, sweet memories. It rejuvenates your relationship, keeps it going. It keeps your relationship burning. You have to consciously keep the fire of your relationship burning by the things you deliberately and intentionally do on a daily basis. Now, I want you to know that whether you know it or not, every day you are investing in your relationships. You are investing in your spouse, and your spouse is investing in you. I do not understand. I do not have knowledge of what I'm doing. It's not an excuse. Whatever you do and whatever you don't do is an investment, either in the positive or in the negative. And we all know that people invest in things that they want to, they expect returns on, isn't it? You want to invest in properties, you want to invest in stocks, you just want to invest in different kind of things, even in gold, in currencies, because you are anticipating a return on investment. When people go into investment, it's because they have expectations of higher yield, isn't it? In your financial capacities. So what are we doing with our relationships? What makes us think that we cannot invest in our relationships and also expect a good yield? Because the truth be told, we'll teach each other in our relationship every day how to react to one another. I teach you how to love me, you teach me how to love you. I teach you how to listen to me, you teach me how to listen to you. I tell young wives whenever I see them, I say your husbands are like children that God has given to you. It's the way you treat them that they will treat you. You will teach them how to treat you. If you treat them with respect, they will treat you with respect. If you show them care, they will know how to care for you. But if you think you want to act like every other woman on the street, it doesn't matter, do your thing. If you do that, your husbands will learn. Okay? So what am I advocating on this episode? Please be deliberate about what you do to yourselves as spouses. Take time out to understand what you are doing, because it's a journey that began with two of you and will end with two of you. Nothing can come in between you. Not your children, not your job, not anything. When you feel that butterfly in your tummy, there was no job involved. It was your spirit, your emotions that were working it. So those feelings must be nurtured to keep that relationship going. Otherwise, you will just be going around cycles and thinking you are in marriage, and yet you are frustrated. That you are married, you are answering a missus, or living in a house with your spouse, sleeping on the same bed and making babies, does not mean that you're enjoying the marriage. It does not mean that you are enjoying the marriage. You can only enjoy that marriage when you have deliberately invested good things in that marriage. I'm telling you, it pays off at the long run. Because after all said and done, you will be left with yourselves. And then I've seen a lot of people that are rich, as it were, but emotionally bankrupt. There are a lot of people that are rich, properties and whatever, but emotionally they are bankrupt. No emotional intimacy with your spouses, no experiences to relive with your spouses. It doesn't go well. You are shortchanging yourself if you take yourselves for granted in your relationship. I'm talking to husbands and I'm talking to wives. Don't take yourselves for granted. Value your relationship. Prioritize your relationship. Let it be the most important relationship in your life. The relationship you have with your husband, the relationship you have with your wife. Treat yourself so good that you don't want to live without each other. I have seen people that are praying to die because they don't have love around them. They are still married, but they don't feel love. So when things come their way that it's too hard for them to deal with, because there's no emotional support, you see. When there is no true love going on, when there is no good investment going on in a relationship, there will be no emotional support. And we all need quality emotional support from time to time because we deal with stuff, you see. A lot of people cannot even share their feelings with your spouses because there is no emotional intimacy. I said it in previous, episodes about intimacy. Intimacy is not just sleeping with a man and getting up and making babies. We have the intimacy of the mind, emotional intimacy. Is your spouse comfortable sharing their pains with you, their concerns with you, your frustrations with you? That's emotional intimacy. I'm able to speak to you the way I feel. Even when I'm not making sense, you are going to make sense out of it for me because I know you are my better half. You understand me more than anybody else. So people, I pray that God will help us to understand that we have work to do in our relationships. Please, consciously and deliberately invest in your relationships. In your spouse, invest in your spouse. Madam, invest in Oga. Oga, invest in Madam. And somebody will ask me, how do I invest in my spouse? Number one is that please always speak highly to and of your partner. The way you speak to yourselves is an investment. Come on now. The way you speak to yourselves is an investment you are making in that relationship. Investment of regard, of honor, of respect. When you are talking to your spouse, please talk to them with respect. Honor them, regard them. And then regard them and speak highly of them when you are talking about them outside. I've heard women talk down on their husbands before people. Why? Is that your investment in that marriage? You are going to reap it. Because you have taught the man to be careless with words. He will be careless with words with you. And you know what? Women, we don't forget words. Some men don't too, but women, we are good at keeping words to recall later. So if you are careless with your words concerning how you talk to your husband, you are investing. Careless talking. And your husband will now learn how to talk to you carelessly, even before people. Because why bring down your spouse in the presence of people? What do you want to gain? What do you want to gain? So number one thing that you can do, that you can invest. Listen, you can invest money. You can invest in every other thing. But the feelings you invest in your spouse is what your spouse is going to live by. Yes. You can give your wife money. You can give her cars. You can give her every other thing. But how you make her feel is the greatest investment you can make in her. You can make that investment in her in a way that no matter what she have, is not going to trip her as much as you do. The same thing, woman. The way you treat your husband is more than anything you can give to him. Celebrating each other every day. Number 2, take time to celebrate each other every day. See one another, acknowledge one another every day. When you are honoring yourself, it's consistent, or it's not just once in a blue moon. No, every day. It is a lifestyle of honor. Invest honor into your spouse. That's what I'm saying. Celebrate your spouse every day. Find time to spend every day. No matter how tight your schedule is, make time for yourselves. Pay attention to little details like touching one another, hugging on one another, pecking on one another, kissing on one another, and just doing some things that make your spirit to be sweet. You can make your spirit to be sweet by the things you do with your spouse that you love. Express love. Don't withhold love. What is it? If you don't express love to your spouse, who are you going to express love to? Why are you holding back yourself? Please, what is that? What is please? Hold your spouse's hand in the public and in the private. Don't pretend. Don't hoard your affection. Don't do that. Husband, that you are showing affection to your wife does not mean you are weak. Listen to me, that's a great investment that will outlive you. A memory you will live with her that she will not be willing to let go of. Come on. Anybody can take anything from her, but not the way you make her feel. She will always remember how her husband makes her feel. He will always remember how his wife makes him feel. So please be deliberate to invest in the emotions of your spouses. Celebrate them. Take note of the little things that make life sweet and unique and beautiful. Touching, kissing, hugging, passing compliments. Passing compliments when your spouse is looking good. Tell him or her, you look good. Oh my goodness, I'm so blessed to have you. What a beauty. My goodness. Just bring smiles to each other's faces every day. That's an investment. Bringing smiles to each other's faces every day is an investment. Oh, come on. Creating a conducive atmosphere of love and peace is an investment. Invest in the peace of your home. Anything that will make for trouble, avoid it. Deal with issues and let them go. Do not allow anything to interfere with the peaceful atmosphere of your home. Do not allow anybody to come in between you. Not even your children. Put them away. You were there before they came, and they will leave you and you will remain. Investing in your spouse is one investment that will never fail. In fact, it's that investment that will outlive you, will speak even the lives of your children. Listen, as you invest consciously, intentionally, and deliberately in the life of your spouse, what happens is that it's influencing your entire household. Your children are taking note of it. Your friends and well-wishers and neighbors and relatives that come around you are taking note of it. And people are positively impacted. So it's not just you that is going to enjoy the dividends of your investment into one another, but everyone that is around you is influenced positively. Now, that is what I call positive impact. So it's very important that you take time to know that you are in that relationship to nurture one another. You understand what I mean? You are there to nurture one another, to make one another to give the very best of themselves in that relationship. Another way by which you can invest in your spouse is by being generous. Be generous. Be a giver. Care for your spouse. Give to your spouse. Attend to the needs of your spouse. Don't be stingy. Some people are generous outside, but when they come into their homes, they are, careful on how they spend. They will say their wives are asking for so much. Listen to me. Who is in a better position to enjoy your wealth than your wife, than your husband? Because it's both ways. Some women most times do have. Let your husband enjoy what you have. Don't say, no, it's a man's place to always give. No. If you have, give. It's a partnership. For partnership to work, It's like the right and the left hand washing themselves. That's when your hands are clean. So don't withhold good from one another. That is one way to invest in each other. Do not withhold good from one another. Don't do that. Anything that you can do to make your spouse happy, do it. It's an investment. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, that is the only memory that your spouse will treasure for life. And that memory gives your spouse strength to be more, available to you, to serve you more. Because one thing too you can do is to serve one another. Serving one another is important. Don't say it's my wife's place to always serve me. You too serve your wife. Because you don't need to count anything. As long as you're in partnership, you want the partnership to work. That is the ultimate goal. Okay? So don't say, oh, it's the wife's place to give me a cup of tea every morning. Nothing stops you from giving your wife a cup of tea in bed. It's doable. I'm not talking to you about what I have not experienced. It only makes her to want to do more. Who you pay attention to will definitely pay attention to you. Another thing you can do is that pay attention. Invest attention in your relationship. Yes. Invest attention. Give your spouse attention. Do not be so overwhelmed by activities and by other personalities around you, and then you just think, it's my husband, I will get back to him later. No. Pay attention to your spouse. No matter how distracted you want to get, please pay good attention to your spouse. Also invest in forgiveness. Learn to forgive and forgive easily and truly. You are teaching your spouse also to forgive. Learn to understand. When some things are explained to you, don't make it too difficult for you to be assessed by your spouse. That is an investment you can make. That you are an understanding spouse makes the relationship lighter and sweeter. Because some of us, we make our relationship so difficult. Marriage is not laborious as much as we make it feel and look because of the way we handle it. The man that is always happy with his wife is not because everything is always good. He has decided to be happy with his wife because he knows that whenever he's not happy with his wife, his day is ruined. Just please, let go easily. Understand yourselves also. Very important. For the woman, Oga, nurture your wife. Pay her attention. Hold her in high esteem. A woman that is thoroughly loved by her husband and knows will overcome every challenge that will ever come her way, because she knows that back home she have a cheerleader, someone that believes in her, someone that trusts her, someone that sees her. Okay, so please be deliberate about what you do with your spouse. Another thing you can invest is transparency. Be open. The Bible said they were both naked and not ashamed. Why will you be in a relationship where you are holding back yourself, saying that if she knows everything about me, she will take me for granted? Then you don't even know the person you are married to. Because except that your spouse truly know you for who you are, your spouse cannot truly stand for you when the time comes. Listen, a woman that does not know the capacity of her husband, financially speaking, will make more demands. Because you make her feel you are okay, everything is fine. But when she knows that this is what we have, she will plan it with you. Except you don't know the woman you marry. That's why we have to be careful on the people we choose to be our spouses, both men and women alike. You have the responsibility of choosing right, because it's not something you will just take home and say, I don't want again. In fact, you go to some shops, they will tell you, no refund, no return. You can't return, you cannot be refunded. Okay, so it's very important that you know who you are married to. When you are open about everything. I've seen a situation where a spouse passed and the wife of the man does not even know who was owing him. And he gave an impression that some people were owing him some money. Now, the woman cannot assess those people because she does not know. So some secrecy will lead to a lot of loss. You have buildings, your spouse don't know. You have investment, your spouse don't know. You are not transparent. Listen to me, you have to be transparent to someone. And who else can you be transparent to than your spouse? I'm encouraging us to please be open and not be ashamed. Be transparent. That is an investment. When you are transparent like that, your wife will be transparent to you, your husband will be transparent to you. You both can then plan. If you are not transparent to one another, how can you plan? You can't plan. Everything is obscured. Everything is coded. Why are you living a coded life? Why? That is a wrong investment to make. Because when the ships are down, your spouse cannot stand for you the way you want them to stand for you. I've seen men grow old and are abandoned by their spouse. Yes. I saw one, I'm not even kidding you. Because there was no investment to keep the woman going. It's like, oh, now that you are weak, you want me to take care of you? While you were strong, how did you treat me? Because that particular woman was terrorized by her husband when he was strong and bubbling. But he became weak and old. And he wanted that same woman to come take care of him. She refused. Listen to me. The investment you make in your spouse today is for your own good. It's a very personal dividend because you are the one that is going to directly enjoy it. It will take care of you emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and otherwise. Do you know a lot of people are going through mental meltdown? They have mental health issues because your relationships are toxic. If two of you that are one cannot be truly one, then there is a problem. Because even if you act like it doesn't matter, there is no other place you can get true joy and true love apart from your spouse. So you see how important it is that amongst other investments that you are making, which is good, so that the family can be taken care of, invest in one another. Invest in one another. This investment I'm talking about will never fail you. So that's all I have for you, on this episode, that investing in your spouse is an investment worth doing and is quite gratifying and fulfilling. And I encourage you to do that. Every day, do something nice. Every day, do something good. Every day, leave a good memory in the heart of your spouse. Every day, touch yourselves in ways that you cannot forget. Every day, make sure that you are enjoying this marriage. Because you know what? It will help you grow well, live well, and be happy. And it will help you also to thank God. Isn't it when you are happy that you say thank God? So when you invest in your spouse, you invest in one another, and you see the result around you, the peace, the joy, the harmony, the love, the understanding, the commitment, the sacrifices, the service that you enjoy, it will make you to glorify God and to say, Father, thank you for my marriage. That is what's saying, isn't it? So please do that and God will bless you. So I hope you understand what I've just said on this episode, that you should take time to be deliberate about what you do with your spouse, because everything you do, whether you know it or not, is an investment. God bless you and God honor you. So until I come your way again on yet another interesting and impactful episode, this is me, saying thank you so much for always being here. Please do like this video, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel so we continue to be a blessing to as many that will come across these videos. God bless you and bye. Thank you so much.